Welcome to the show. Today we're diving into a brain support supplement that's been making waves, PinealPure. It's a liquid formula designed for memory and overall brain health.
Wow, a liquid format? That's pretty unusual for a supplement, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's, like instead of capsules, you use this dropper and take it sublingually, which they claim helps with faster absorption.
Interesting.
The focus is on flushing toxins, particularly fluoride, out of the pineal gland to help restore natural melatonin production.
So they're targeting that little gland deep inside our brain, the pineal gland, to boost sleep and memory?
Precisely. They talk a lot about combating a so-called neural drought, which sounds dramatic but is intended to explain how toxin buildup might affect both sleep and cognitive function.
Right, that's one way
The
to put it.
idea is to help with brain fog, memory loss, and even our sleep cycles.
Yeah, but I've often wondered, do these kinds of claims hold up? It sounds a bit overreaching sometimes, especially when they mention conditions like Alzheimer's.
You bring up a good point. They definitely push some strong narratives, even touching on serious diseases, but then they carefully add disclaimers that it isn't FDA approved for Alzheimer's or dementia. They're appealing to both emotions and hope, but you need to be realistic.
Exactly, and that's where buyer awareness comes into play. So what's in this PinealPure mix anyway?
The formula is a blend of natural extracts, including functional mushrooms like lion's mane, blue-green algae ingredients like spirulina and chlorella, and traditional botanicals like ginkgo biloba and Bacopa monnieri. It also has extracts like pine bark and moringa.
Yeah,
They
all
promise
familiar
these
names in the
ingredients
wellness
work
space.
together to detoxify the pineal gland and support melatonin production.
Okay, so they're stacking well-known compounds that have at least some research backing, even if the whole combination hasn't been peer-reviewed as a complete formula.
Yeah, exactly. While individual components like lion's mane or ginkgo have studies showing their antioxidant or cognitive supportive properties, the final blend hasn't been validated in a large-scale human trial.
Right, so you really have to take the claims with a grain of salt. And what about the reviews? I mean, customer testimonials and complaints, they seem to be a mixed bag.
For sure, you hear a lot of positive feedback, particularly around improved sleep, sharper memory, and better focus. Some older adults and caregivers even say it has brought back a sense of independence. But then
that
there are
sounds
the
promising.
complaints too. Delayed shipping, refunds taking too long, and in some cases, results that aren't quite what people expected.
Yeah, and that's interesting because it shows a clear divide. Some users report dramatic benefits, while others feel let down. It's like, sometimes the body just doesn't respond the same way, right?
Exactly. And those variations could be due to personal biology, lifestyle factors, or even how committed someone is with the regimen. They're meant to be used consistently over time, sometimes, several weeks to see noticeable
definitely.
changes.
And speaking of regimen, the pricing structure seems to be another key point. How does PinealPure fare in that regard?
Good question. They sell it in different packages. A single bottle costs around $59, but if you buy 3 or 6, the per bottle price drops significantly, down to about $29 a bottle in the 6-bottle package. They even compare the daily cost to the price of a coffee, which is clever marketing if you're into that.
Right, that's a neat trick to make it feel more affordable over time. Although it does seem steep initially, that 365-day money-back guarantee is one of the longest in the industry. Not many supplements offer that, huh?
Absolutely, it's a strong reassurance tactic. I mean, from a consumer's perspective, a full-year guarantee greatly reduces the risk. If you're
Yeah, it
worried
gives
about the
buyers time
upfront
to really
cost,
test it out.
the refund policy is designed to help mitigate any disappointment.
But on the flip side, it's interesting that many of these complaints center around shipping delays and refund processing frustrations. So, while the policy sounds good, execution might be another story.
That's true. Some users mention that while the guarantee is generous on paper, the response times from customer service can be less than ideal. And those
that's a
issues
valid
often
concern.
lead to consumer frustration, especially if they feel the process is too scripted or slow.
Now, when you compare PinealPure to other brain supplements, what really stands out?
Well, one major differentiator is the product's focus on the pineal gland specifically. Most brain supplements focus on overall neurotransmitter support, circulation, or broad cognitive enhancement. But PinealPure's narrative is all about detoxifying the pineal gland and restoring melatonin. which in theory is supposed to help with sleep and memory.
Yeah, that's a very
It's a bit more
targeted
niche
approach.
in its appeal.
Yeah, I see that. And then there's the delivery method. Using a liquid dropper under the tongue is definitely distinct from the typical capsule form.
Exactly. It can be particularly beneficial for seniors or anyone who has difficulty swallowing pills. Plus, the sublingual route is believed to allow for faster absorption, which theoretically means you get the benefits quicker.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if you're, looking for a rapid effect. But I can't help but be a bit critical here. Isn't it a little risky to trust a supplement that relies so heavily on marketing rhetoric without very clear clinical studies behind it?
I agree to some extent. The supplement market is notorious for blending solid ingredients with over-the-top promises. While individual components have backing, the blended formula hasn't gone through peer-reviewed trials as a whole, so it's, definitely a matter of informed choice.
Right? It's all about setting realistic expectations. And then there are regulatory issues, marketing language that flirts with disease reversal claims, which, as we know, supplements aren't allowed to make.
Exactly. They are required to add disclaimers because over-the-counter supplements can't claim to treat serious conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's. So, someone expecting a miracle cure might end up disappointed.
Using the product. Now, regarding safety, what do we know about possible side effects?
Most users find that the side effects are, generally mild. Things like digestive discomfort, occasional nausea, or headaches. However, as with any supplement containing multiple botanical extracts, allergic reactions can happen, and it might interact with other medications.
Yeah, that's where the advice to consult a healthcare professional comes in. And speaking of informed decisions, the product really underscores the need to verify manufacturing details like GMP certification, lot numbers, and expiry dates, right?
Spot on. It's all about due diligence. While PinealPure touts a natural ingredient profile and a U.S. facility claim, there's still a call for buyers to examine third-party lab reports if available.
Because without that, you're basically relying on the brand's word. The conversational space around PinealPure is interesting. You have testimonials from seniors, caregivers, and even biohackers who have a more holistic take on their health.
Definitely. Some users report noticeable improvements in memory recall and sleep quality after several weeks of consistent use. Others view it simply as a preventative measure, a way to support memory and focus as part of a broader wellness routine.
Right, and that varied feedback shows it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And then there are the warnings about counterfeit products. It seems like buying directly from the official website is crucial to avoid fakes and ensure you get that refund protection.
Exactly. The brand emphasizes direct-to-consumer sales for a reason. Third-party marketplaces often increase the risk of receiving a counterfeit bottle, which can void the refund guarantee and compromise safety.
That's an important tip for anyone considering this supplement. So, to wrap this up, who do you think might benefit most from trying PinealPure?
Well, it's best suited for adults who are looking for natural support for memory and sleep, particularly those who prefer a liquid delivery system and are comfortable with a longer-term trial period to see benefits. It definitely appeals to those who are cautious with the extended money-back guarantee and who have a proactive approach to their brain health.
Right, and it definitely isn't for someone who's expecting immediate or guaranteed results. Yeah, the key is managing expectations and being fully informed about both the pros and the cons. Would you say that sums it up?
Absolutely. PinealPure offers a unique angle with its focus on the pineal gland, natural ingredients, and liquid format, but it comes with caveats: inconsistent results, potential side effects, and a reliance on strong, sometimes overblown, marketing claims. So if you do your homework and consult health professionals when necessary, it can be a supportive addition to a natural wellness routine.
Thanks for breaking that down. It's been a pretty enlightening conversation.
Definitely, it's all about being informed and realistic. Thanks for hanging in there through all the details. Catch you next time with more deep dives into the latest in wellness and supplements.